center fielders, and they haven't really had one in like 20 years that you can really think of that's been standing out. I mean, we'll go back to days of Milt Kyler.
Milt Kyler.
Milt Kyler.
Yeah. Well, look at the '84 Tigers, how strong they were up the middle. Lance Parrish, Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker. Chet Lemon was incredible.
He was.
Incredible.
Sweet.
A steal from the White Sox.
Yes.
An absolute steal.
Sweet afro.
Steve Couch. Yeah, so you got to be strong up the middle. I mean, every sport you got to be strong up the middle. And the Tigers, they're failing. They've kind of now they're getting there with James McCann and Pete's guy there, Iglesias.
Get rid of Jose Iglesias.
Maybe he can play center field.
That fight last year will never leave my head. I mean, even when David Price goes on Twitter and says James McCann, the rookie, should be wearing a captaincy for the Tigers after the fight happened.
Well, at any rate, guys, let's.
Rookie should be wearing captaincy.
And I disagree with the Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, you and I differ about that.
But I'm going to bring it up when we talk about Calvin Johnson about that. So.
All right, we'll get to Calvin Johnson here shortly. I do want to talk about the third angle, and this is going to be a really quick thing. The third angle. SportsRadioDetroit.com bracket tournament. We started it yesterday in the open bracket. Mike, who helped me construct Mike pretty much put the whole bracket together, but I made some small changes, of course. But yesterday, the bracket went out yesterday it's up on the website, SportsRadioDetroit.com. Don't forget to vote, and the voting ends next Saturday. So,
it's a week. Okay.
Yeah, so you have a week to vote. So we'll start with the bracket today. Amy Andrews is the #1 seed against Heather Patalo from Channel 7. Rhonda Walker against Anu Prakash. Yes, I said it right.
I'm a fan of her.
Glenda Lewis versus Sharon Magolis. And then, of course, Freddie and Andy's personal favorite, Anne Marie Blake versus Jackie Cage.
My wife doesn't know.
And I used
Way to rat us out. Well, my wife knows.
I used to produce for Jackie Page, so I can't. Right there, I have to go by default there.
It's all good, dude. Stay loyal, bro.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
You know, my wife found out, though, because I used to watch Channel 4 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And then one morning she caught me watching ABC as Anne-Marie was doing the traffic, and she had to give me that look like, I know why you're watching Channel 7 now.
I didn't really like her at the beginning, and then she just kind of grew on me. I used to watch Channel 2 all the time. I liked Q, so I was always watching Q, and then I would switch to Channel 4, and then I'm stuck on Channel 7. Channel 7.
I don't even want to leave the house for work sometimes. I got to set my alarm twice.
Yeah, I'm up at 4 in the
Like
morning.
if you're eldest seat, we're done.
I'm up at 4 in the morning with the kids, so they usually come out at 4:30. So
You know, she was a model before she started doing
Really?
morning. Yeah.
Boy,
now who's the stalker?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're always tweeting at those guys, Nima Shafé and all those guys.
Yeah, I talked to her in the morning. It's my Twitter flirt. You should definitely do it with one of the reporters. It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
It's like Axe body spray for Twitter.
Amy Andrews won the first year. We got a chance to go down there and meet her. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Amy Andrews is 23 Jordan. She's next level.
Yeah.
Everybody else in that bracket is fantastic, but Amy Andrews is right there. She's the one. She looks good in a Tigers hat at Comerica. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And she's awesome.
Yeah, she's
cool.
awesome. She's very cool, very engaging. And last year she was upset by, it was kind of shocked. She was upset. She got upset in the semifinals last year, and a lot of people were pissed. And one of those search things on the SportsRadioDetroit.com website, it's not Tigers, it's not Lions, is Amy Andrews is married. I'm not kidding. For the last 40, we started the website 4 years ago. I started doing the analytics on it. It's insane how many people look for Amy Andrews on the website.
Well, between me and Andy, looking up the Flame now, I think it's going to win.
That stat might be skewed soon.
How are you going to announce the winner? Do you want to say it?
We're going to announce the winner here in a few weeks. We're going to give him a trophy presentation. Hopefully, we'll get some, get a chance to talk to him. Whoever the winner is, give him a trophy presentation, flowers, and a little gift card. We're working on, thanks to our sponsor, by the way, Office Furniture Warehouse out in Troy. Go check them out for your best and used furniture as well. So thanks to our guys over there for sponsoring us and really pushing it out. I really appreciate it. They were able to help us with some of the costs to go in, including the trophy and some of the little gifts we're giving out. But no, it's last year was really good. Last year we almost had 500,000 votes. So considering that,
By 3 guys, but still it counts.
It's one of those just click things. But the comments and feedback last year was good, and so this year we're going to announce the other 2 brackets here on the SRD Roadshow later on this afternoon. Look for Joanne Turtle from 105.1 is going to be in there. Holly Hutton, personal favorite of Pete's.
Go Holly.
And she has a very tough matchup. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to upset you, Pete, so I'm sorry.
Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So,
Hey.
just giving you a heads up right now. And
Who isn't tough in that whole field? They're all beautiful.
right now, Lauren Powell is getting. I'm surprised that Lauren. Right now, it's just Erica Erickson is doing a very good job. And another one, too, Taryn Asher. Right now, it's a neck and neck battle right there. So,
Joanne Tubbs going to be up.
Taryn Drew.
Oh, Virginia football.
Yeah.
And I want to say too, we're not doing this to be like, and I don't want to speak for Roger, but this isn't meant to be perverted.
No,
We're very lucky here in Detroit to have great stations, great female broadcasters. So have some fun. Go on the site.
We want their hard work.
You nailed it perfectly. You couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep.
And honestly, we appreciate that. Everybody wakes up to these people every morning. And Jim, you work with somebody as well that every morning everybody relies on for their information, for entertainment.
Trudy's in this, right?
Yes.
I put you on the spot. You'd be
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
Based on the calls
Yes.
we don't air, you better have her in there.
Yeah, she's in there for sure.
Yeah.
Fellow
Yeah,
Bowling Green Falcon.
Yeah, right there.
Ooh.
I will say this though about Anupa Krosh. When you meet her in person,
Yeah.
she's an amateur photographer. She is one of the coolest people I've met in the media here in Detroit. I'm serious.
Yeah.
She's like majorly cool.
She's
And
one of my
TV doesn't do
favorites.
her justice because she doesn't get to really explore like the reporting, some of the stuff she does.
Yeah.
Very, very, very
Yeah.
cool.
She's like a
Cool person.
5-tool reporter, if
She
you will.
is. She is. She's the Cameron Maven of Channel 7. No,
But with a better
no.
wrist.
She's the Willie Mays.
She's the Willie Mays of Channel 7.
She's one of my favorites. If I had to pick one, she would be my number one for sure. I always enjoy her. She does great work.
Yeah.
She's solid. Yeah, Jim, by the way, tell everybody what time you're on WCSX.
We're on from 6 to 10, WCSX, and streaming now too, and I'm always joking about that. But yeah, we get as many people listening online as well, at WCSX, and you can follow me on Twitter as well. So I'm always up in the morning, I'm always talking on Twitter during the show too. So
And
Jim and the D.
Jim
Yeah,
and the D.
and you still do your blog?
Oh yeah, I'm always driving cars
Yeah.
and writing about stuff and doing things. So yeah, if it's free, I'm there.
In terms of also, by the way, just let Trudy know, we're gonna have her out today promoting it. So if she gets a Twitter alert, goes, what's going on?
All right.
Because one of those things. Because I know some of them are looking like, what is this? And there's some of it's still new. So let's go into a little bit what's going on at the UFC before we get to Pistons and the Calvin Johnson. I do want to talk a little bit UFC, guys, with the big fight tonight. Conor McGregor against Nick Diaz, one of the biggest pricks I've ever seen in my entire life. Nate Diaz. The fighting and the press conference. Diaz talking about steroids. Jim, I know you're a big UFC guy. Talk about the fight. Talk about McGregor right now. And of course, we talked before pre-show. We all think that McGregor's going to win this thing. And Nate Diaz, the arrogant, this guy, it just seems like he's another level of does not care, does not have no regard for anything that the UFC tries to do.
Like our producer?
Well played.
Nice.
Well played.
Oh, nice, Freddie. Yeah.
Here's the thing about Diaz tonight, though, that everyone's forgetting. If they weigh in at 170, right?
Yeah.
He's going in the ring at what, 185, 186? Conor can't go there. I mean, Conor's going to have to fight to get to 170. Good on him, and for taking the fight, because Conor can't win this fight. He can win tonight, but if he wins, he's supposed to win. The guy took him on 10 days' notice. If he loses, then he lost to a guy who just took the fight on 10 days' notice. So I was really surprised that he kept going with this fight, but that tells you the power of Dana White. And McGregor's the first guy in the UFC to make $1 million up front.
Really?
The first.
Wow.
That tells you these fighters don't make crap. I mean, everyone thinks they're all rolling. They make their money outside of it. They don't get gate. I mean, Dana White and these guys, God bless them for doing it, but yeah, they don't break huge bank. But the more I think about it, the only problem McGregor's going to have is if it becomes a boxing match, Diaz can punch. Diaz is a boxer who just gets in the octagon. Diaz could very easily knock his ass out. He could, but I think Conor's just too smart. At least I hope he is, because I can't stand Diaz either.
Yeah, and especially with the way the UFC, now with the uniform deal with Reebok, these fighters can make extra money. And it allows for these fighters to really, they're not making the gate, and they are kind of cut off by their salary. They can't put their banner up on the octagon. If you looked at that mess that was Bellator, or was it Bellator?
Kimbo?
Kimbo. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. But those guys are, the reason why they're kind of jumping over there because they can make opportunity to make more money, but also it's a crappy product. UFC is the best product out there. is pretty much if you're a wrestling fan, it's like WWE, and TNA. It's not even close. But Diaz, and look, it's just I don't like Diaz's area. I mean, but he goes in there and taunts fighters, and he back it up, which and then that's why I don't like Diaz. I don't like his his ability to.
But what does McGregor do?
Exactly. Yeah, you guys are sounding like McGregor's like this.
But
player boy.
Oh no, he's
sweet
horrible
Jesus.
at that.
Now my question to you though, Jim, are you rooting for McGregor just because he's a fellow Irishman? Is there a little nepotism in there, or not so much?
A little bit. We haven't anybody in the ring since Cooney, so I mean.
There it is.
We had a Dago fight in the UFC, so we got to start working out a little bit here, Freddie. Maybe you and I.
Freddie, if Freddie's just shaking his head in disgust here about this, like you want to see.
I couldn't tell you nothing about UCF.
Oh, not even that, but like your favorite boxer of all time. Who's your favorite boxer of all time?
Mike Tyson. Well,
Even over the Rock. Even
no,
over
I'm sorry.
Marcelo, that
Well, I
hurts.
thought you meant who I saw.
Yeah.
Who I saw.
Oh, okay.
But obviously, I mean, I got it all right here next to me. Look at it. But yeah, I would say him.
But you saw Muhammad Ali towards the tail end of his career, which is
No,
okay.
I don't think I've ever seen Muhammad Ali fight. But what I remember is George Foreman and Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. I mean, you guys.
Lights out, dude.
When he come in, they were so scared of him, they were trembling. And then after the loss against
Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas, it was it, man.
That was it, but
the
that was
rape case, and then it was
Well,
done.
no, there was an ad-on in Japan that I guess contributed to his downfall. It involved strippers and some drugs. But
Inside scoop, dude.
no, that's of course it's a.
He grew up with nothing.
So-
He ended up with nothing.
But he's done a lot. But he's more popular now than he's ever been.
Yeah.
People don't even think of him as a fighter that much anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but he was from what I saw, he was one of my favorites.
But let me look, guys. Look, McGregor does talk a lot of smack. McGregor does talk a lot, but and you see post interviews. He seems like signing kids' autographs, doing a lot of cool things to make himself.
Yep.
And he does that in the fight. He does it in the ring. Diaz just straight up looking at dick.
I think, Roger, you're hitting the nail on the head. McGregor is a little more showmanship to his trash talking.
Yeah.
He knows what he has to do to sell the fight. That's why White loves him.
Right.
And then once the cameras die down, we'll go maybe help the community, hook up little kids. But I think you're right with Diaz. He's just a turd.
Yeah, I can see Diaz punching a lady. I mean, that's the kind of.
Ooh, maybe that's a good foreshadow, bro. Call Vegas. They might have some odds on that.
How about him
Domestic.
against Ronda Rousey? Can they fight?
Oh, that's one thing I wanted to ask you.
Ronda Rousey kick his ass?
Jim, since what is up with this? It's kind of funny, how you just said, as soon as Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, he went away. It looks like in MMA that doesn't seem to happen. Like, Miesha Tate, how many losses can she? Is she gonna be like the Ric Flair of the women's thing? I mean, she never goes away.
That's what's weird about the male versus the female. I mean, Dana White didn't want to have women fighting. He was adamant about that until Ronda Rousey, until he saw her, and then he totally changed his position. Which in the political season we never see that.
Right.
Right. So they don't have any combatants for it. They really don't have enough fighters to fill out that division.
That's why.
So she keeps coming back, and she's cute. And that is the shallowest thing. And if you say I'm lying, you're full of crap.
No, you're
She's
not
cute.
lying. No, she's
She's
a
cute.
looker.
She's cool looking. And then Holly Holm. You don't think Ronda Rousey is like, if Rousey's coming back, is cheering for Holly Holm tonight? Because she doesn't want to fight. She's already beat Miesha Tate twice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. I want to see Mayweather get in the ring. And then to your point, Freddie, about the new UFC video game that's out. You know what they're promoting? Mike Tyson is a UFC fighter.
Oh, really?
So you can be Mike Tyson in the ring.
Oh, wow.
So they know that they're trying to get the boxing fans more and more, so they're pulling them in. That's why all this talk about Mayweather and Conor McGregor. It'd be an exhibition fight. Wasn't it back in the day? Didn't Ali fight like some Japanese guy, like a sumo dude in the ring? I swear he did. So
That's a good call.
They're smart. I mean, they know what they want to do. So you could see boxers having fights with UFC guys in the next couple of years.
Rocky
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Thunderlips, baby. The ultimate
Thunderlips.
Thunderlips. I only watch Rocky 3 every time it's on.
You cannot
Versus the
know.
ultimate
Yeah.
meatball.
Do you know if they listened to their managers in those movies? Think about it. If Apollo had listened to his manager, he wouldn't have lost his second fight. He wouldn't have died in the ring. If Rocky had listened to Mickey, he wouldn't have taken the fight with Clubber Lang and got his head kicked in. And then Rocky actually wound up killing his manager because they went to the fight and he had the heart attack there. Just listen to your manager and you're fine.
Now, eventually, Rocky 8 is gonna be where Rocky probably passes away, right? I mean, I'm
Right.
assuming it's gotta be coming up.
How many Rockies are there? 6?
Six,
He
seven.
just
Count Creed?
established
Seven,
Creed
no,
counts.
seven,
Yeah, I would
yeah,
count
seven.